Good day, everybody. Getting towards the end of October here. I'm John Palmer, and today we're looking at the 10ACW Avenir guitar. I'm going to let you have a look at that nice solid cedar top. Has this lovely grain pattern. Notice the carved bridge. That's a bone saddle. Ebony pins. There's a bone nut. This instrument is from Stonebridge. Guitar is international and it's handcrafted by Hosen. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I won't go into all the details of the specs, but you can look that up on Stonebridge guitars. So we're talking about tone, playability, build and design, and finally value. Okay. So let's start with something like tone. Now I have my microphone set up here, so hopefully you're listening with headphones. Now I'm hoping that that microphone is picking up the fact that when you, not every note, but when you play a note, there's a lot more ringing than just the vibration of one string. I mean, it's kind of like playing a steel drum in a way. I came up with that analogy. It just because it's so tight and the entire instrument is vibrating when you get the right tone. And I believe it's coming more alive all the time because I've had it about 3 weeks, probably an hour a day on this instrument, and I feel like it's opening up. Came with elixir strings, which I like to mention because you know, it's just a good idea. They could sit in a warehouse or on the store rack maybe a year. So, you know, good on them, good on Stonebridge. And they make sure they all come playable. This instrument didn't need any extra work. Comes out of the workshop with the frets are nice and smooth, no sharp edges on the nut, and now we'll go into a little bit more about the construction. And one thing you can do, of course, you look down the neck. Oh, it's a nice straight neck, naturally. But to my eye, it looks almost flat. However, that's where this little guy comes in. So these are cheap enough, and you know, you just put that on, and you'll find out just exactly what I would like to see, which is a bit of relief. So that is nicely set up, and keep that tool way away from your guitar. That's sharp and heavy piece of metal. Did not need any fret work, so I won't be pulling out my fret file, but you know, never hurts to own this because your frets are going to change shape, even if you're not a great bender of strings. I pull out my headlamp. And then we get in there with the dental mirror. Again, everything's so cheap. And what do I find in there? Well, it's just a delight. It's actually pleasure looking in there because the scallop bracing is handmade, and it all just is so beautiful. And it's the double scallop design, goes flat that way and comes sharp in the middle. And it's actually quite a delight but the reason that we get the dentist mirror is because if you go through a few instruments over the years, including used, it doesn't hurt to have a look. I mean, if the guitar's been dropped at some point in its life, the braces can start to come loose, and you won't know that when you're buying it. I've got my gauges here if I want to find out what that radius is on the fingerboard. You got a little, straight edge, You find out things like this and that. And obviously your measuring tools, okay? So again, just some very simple tools. This is a standard string gauge, which I don't love, so I tend to get the height of my caliper, and then I'll transfer it here to make sure I can see. So that's just all about investigating, you know, your setup. We're talking about the instrument. I said tone, playability, build. So hopefully we're covering, design. I mean, design, it's just beautiful, isn't it? I mean, the shape is absolutely lovely. They're calling it an auditorium body. And I find it does really, really ring. It's very simple, right? Not a lot of extra, because the craftsman put, obviously, when you play it, you find the craftsman put his effort into, yes, some fine details like this, a little bit with the scalloped bracing and whatnot. He put his effort into making it a great sounding instrument, right? You can add another $10,000 if you want to have inlays all up and down the neck and so on, right? There's no end to what you can do. But in terms of build, I think it's stunning in its simplicity, and it is really a unit. It's like it's welded together or something. It's just so tight. And then you know that top was toned, was really worked on. You can just see him with that sandpaper taken a little bit. You got to be so careful too. Playability, so I like to just do something like this, an F chord. What am I doing? I'm flubbing that one. But I don't blame the guitar for that, no. If I can play a bar along the bottom, B minor, then I'm thinking that's a pretty good setup, I think. You know, anybody can play bar chords up higher. And for intonation, just do an E in harmonics, and I think that just sounds absolutely wonderful to me. So clear plastic pick guard, and it's located in the right location. When you're slapping it along, getting some volume for those 20 fiddle players. Sometimes I'm backing up, and so okay. So I'm awfully happy. People always want to be happy with their purchases, but I'm very happy with this. It's a $2,000 instrument. Comes with a beautiful hard case, which is obviously made for the instrument, and I say, yeah, thumbs up. Definitely value. I'm looking forward to growing older, along with my new Avenir 10 ACW. Thank you.